This video is about famous Hollywood celebrities and people who passed away in September 2020 in the United States. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Helen Reddy. She was born in October 1941 and she died in September 2020. Her age was 78 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from Addison's disease and dementia. Helen Reddy was an Australian-American singer and actress who became a global superstar and a feminist icon in the 1970s. Her 1972 hit, "I'm a Woman," became the unofficial anthem of the women liberation movement and earned her a Grammy Award. She scored a string of other major hits including Delta Dawn and Angie Baby, making her one of the most successful female artists of her era. Michael Chapman. He was born in November 1935 and he died in September 2020. His age was 84 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was congestive heart failure. Michael Chapman was a legendary and highly influential American cinematographer, known for his gritty, realistic visual style. He was a key collaborator with director Martin Scorsese, serving as the director of photography on the iconic films Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, the latter earning him an Academy Award nomination. His work had a profound impact on the new Hollywood cinema of the 1970s and 80s. Eric Morillo. He was born in March 1971 and he died in September 2020. His age was 49 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was drug overdose. Eric Morillo was a globally famous DJ and music producer who was a major figure in the international house music scene. He was best known as the creative force behind the 1993 dance music project Reel to Reel, which produced the massive international hit I Like to Move It. As the head of Subliminal Records, he was a three-time winner of the DJ Award for Best House DJ. Gary Peacock. He was born in May 1935 and he died in September 2020. His age was 85 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Gary Peacock was a legendary and highly innovative American jazz double bassist. He was best known for his three-decade tenure as a member of the acclaimed Keith Jarrett Trio, one of the most celebrated and influential small groups in modern jazz history, a master of improvisation. He also played and recorded with other jazz giants like Albert Ayler and Bill Evans. Tommy DeVito. He was born in June 1928 and he died in September 2020. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from COVID-19. Tommy DeVito was an American musician and singer who was a founding member and the original lead guitarist of the iconic rock and roll group The Four Seasons. His baritone vocals and guitar work were a key component of the group's signature sound on massive hits like Cherry and Big Girls Don't Cry. As a member of The Four Seasons, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Harold Evans. He was born in June 1928 and he died in September 2020. His age was 92 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from congestive heart failure. Sir Harold "Harry" Evans was a celebrated and highly influential British-American journalist and editor. As the editor of the Sunday Times in the 1960s and 70s, he was renowned for his crusading investigative journalism, most notably his campaign on behalf of thalidomide victims. He later became the publisher of Random House and a prolific author known for his passion for compelling storytelling. Jackie Stallone. She was born in November 1921 and she died in September 2020. Her age was 98 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. Jacqueline "Jackie" Stallone was an American astrologer, media personality, and a promoter of women wrestling. She was best known as the mother of actor Sylvester Stallone and musician Frank Stallone. A flamboyant and larger-than-life character, she became a celebrity in her own right, famous for her work in astrology and her appearances on television and in the media. Mac Davis. He was born in January 1942 and he died in September 2020. His age was 78 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from heart surgery. Mac Davis was a popular and successful American country and pop singer, songwriter, and actor. His first achieved fame as a songwriter, penning hits for Elvis Presley, including the classic "In the Ghetto" and "A Little Less Conversation." He later became a major star in his own right with his #1 hit, "Baby Don't Get Hooked on Me," and hosted his own successful television variety show. Bill Gates Sr. He was born in November 1925 and he died in September 2020. His age was 94 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from Alzheimer's disease. William Bill Gates Sr. was a prominent American lawyer and philanthropist. He was a co-founder of the prestigious law firm Schindler McBroom and Gates. He was a major civic leader in the Seattle area. He was also the father of Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates and was instrumental in co-founding and guiding the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, one of the world's most significant philanthropic organizations. Arthur Ashkin. He was born in September 1922 and he died in September 2020. His age was 98 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Dr. Arthur Ashkin was an American physicist who was awarded the 2018 Nobel Prize in Physics for his groundbreaking work in laser physics. A longtime scientist at Bell Labs, he was the inventor of optical tweezers, a technique that uses laser beam pressure to grab and manipulate microscopic objects like atoms, viruses, and living cells. His invention created a powerful new tool for research in biology and physics. Terry Goodkind. He was born in January 1948 and he died in September 2020. His age was 72 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. Terry Goodkind was a best-selling American author of epic fantasy novels. He was best known for his immensely popular fantasy series, The Sword of Truth, which began with the 1994 novel Wizard's First Rule. His books sold tens of millions of copies worldwide and were adapted into the television series Legend of the Seeker, making him a major figure in the modern fantasy genre. Winston Groom. He was born in March 1943 and he died in September 2020. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was complications from a heart attack. Winston Groom was an American novelist and non-fiction writer, best known for authoring the 1986 novel Forrest Gump. The book was adapted into the 1994 film of the same name, which became a cultural phenomenon and won the Academy Award for Best Picture. A veteran himself, he was also a respected author of several well-researched books on American military history. Stephen F. Cohen. He was born in November 1938 and he died in September 2020. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from lung cancer. Dr. Stephen F. Cohen was a prominent American scholar of Russian studies and a professor at Princeton and New York University. He was a leading expert on the history of the Soviet Union and post-Soviet Russia, known for his critical and often controversial views on United States foreign policy. He authored several influential books, including a highly acclaimed biography of Nikolai Bukharin. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was born in March 1933 and she died in September 2020. Her age was 87 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death were complications from metastatic pancreatic cancer. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a trailblazing American jurist who served as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States from 1993 until her death. She was a pioneering advocate for gender equality, co-founding the ACLU's Women's Rights Project and arguing landmark cases before the Supreme Court. In her later years, she became a celebrated progressive and pop culture icon, affectionately known as a notorious RBG. David Graeber. He was born in February 1961 and he died in September 2020. His age was 59 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from necrotic pancreatitis. David Graeber was an influential American anthropologist, anarchist, activist, and author. A professor at the London School of Economics, he was a leading intellectual voice on the anti-capitalist left and was a key organizer of the Occupy Wall Street movement, credited with helping to coin the phrase "We are the 99." His 2011 book, Dead: The First 5,000 Years, was a critically acclaimed and wide-ranging work of scholarship. Road warrior animal. He was born in September 1960 and he died in September 2020. His age was 60 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was heart attack. Born Joseph Laurinaitis, Road Warrior Animal was a professional wrestler who was one half of the iconic and dominant tag team, the Road Warriors, also known as the Legion of Doom. Alongside his partner Hawk, he was known for his intimidating face paint, spiked shoulder pads, and powerhouse wrestling style. They were one of the most popular and influential tag teams in wrestling history and were inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Lou Brock. He was born in June 1939 and he died in September 2020. His age was 81 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from a series of illness. Lou Brock was a legendary Hall of Fame baseball player, celebrated for his incredible speed and base-stealing prowess. He spent the majority of his career with the St. Louis Cardinals, where he was a key member of 2 World Series championship teams. He was the second player in history to steal over 900 bases and, at the time of his retirement, was the all-time leader in the category, breaking Ty Cobb's long-standing record. Gale Sayers. He was born in May 1943 and he died in September 2020. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death were complications from dementia. Gale Sayers was a legendary Hall of Fame running back for Chicago Bears, widely regarded as one of the most electrifying open-field runners in NFL history. Nicknamed the Kansas Comet, his brilliant but injury-shortened career saw him lead the league in rushing and earned 4 Pro Bowl selections. His close friendship with his terminally ill teammate Brian Piccolo was immortalized in the classic television movie Brian's Song. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.